What is up, Bulldogs? Today we are going to be discussing two really interesting concepts that I've recently come across on the internet. One of them is black pill, or being black pilled, and the other one is this concept of a sigma male. What are we going to be talking about here today? Now, this is kind of interesting because I've been, I'm always getting emails from you guys that are telling me about the problems that you're having with women, and I understand, that it's a harsh place. Okay, it is a harsh place for sure for a lot of guys today, especially if you're not deemed the most attractive, high status male. Okay, but what I'm finding on the internet here, a lot of videos, a lot of disturbing stuff here, is that I'm seeing two forms of self-deception. Okay, now there's a few of these, right? So, to give a little brief history of kind of how things evolved here, I would say that what happened was there was this whole kind of pickup artist community way back when, the seduction in the news groups, right? That was kind of where this started. And so there was this idea of kind of this pickup and using canned lines and stuff, and that worked for a while. And then it sort of evolved, right, to this point where I think we started to see what is called, being red pilled, or this men going their own way movement. They sort of came out of this same place, which was basically, it started out as this idea that essentially that the world, right, and society was becoming highly feminist, that it was disadvantageous to guys, that, guys were not understanding, they're getting put in the friend zone. They don't understand this. They don't understand how women behave, that they're hypergamous in behavior, meaning that they're looking for the better provider, the better mate, the higher status male all the time. They're looking to trade up. And, and that was kind of a revelation, right? So if you've read Rollo Tomasi's famous book, The Rational Male, which I'll link to up here, I'm putting in the description. And don't worry, I'm getting into the black pill and sigma male stuff in a second here, but I want to give you kind of the history so you understand. So that happened, right? And for the most part, that was good, right, for guys, because the pickup whole era, like when that began, it was not at all about the psychology. It wasn't understanding women. It wasn't understanding, like, if you read The Game, right, and you remember Mystery, just getting his super hot girlfriend, I forgot what her name was, and he couldn't handle her, right? He was just heartbroken. He was just like, he was basically suicidal, right? Because he couldn't handle it, because he was representing to be this tough, kind of very macho, cocky, funny type of guy, but he wasn't actually that. He was just playing this role. And so he didn't actually have the character attributes of an alpha male, of a dominant male, let's say. Okay. So there was kind of, that wasn't good, right? But then the red pill thing came along, and sort of the beginning of the men going their own way. And that was good because it started to teach, and even like the RSD guys today, they teach personal development. Okay. And that sort of said, like, look, here's the thing. It said this: respect yourself, be a fucking man. Okay. And stop caring what other people think. Stop caring what women think. Okay. And stop being needy. Stop being a nice guy. Stop being a pushover. It doesn't mean you have to be an asshole, but understand this is why you're getting friend zoned, is because women want the aggressive R-rated guy. They want the guy that goes after what he wants, that doesn't shower them with flowers and gifts and supplicate to them, but is dominant, takes what he wants out of life, is not needy, okay? And is not afraid of loss, right? And it also said that, okay, and these are the behaviors that women engage in. Okay, this is what you can expect, and all women are sort of the same in this way. And you should expect this behavior, and you should not allow yourself to be treated poorly, right? That you should draw the line, and you should say something, and you should have your boundaries, okay? And that you should not deal with this kind of behavior. You have to be the man, and don't be the walk on eggshells type guy. So this was all sort of good stuff for relationships, for men in general, and understanding this type of thing. And then what ended up happening, okay, and we're going to get to the black pill and this whole sigma male thing. What ended up happening, okay, was that, and I've fought against this quite a bit. This is why I'm not a fan of MGTOW now, okay? And in fact, it's funny. I've done videos that you would say, oh shit, I did a video where everyone's like, "Oh, you're a soy boy and a cuck and all this stuff," and it came from this community because it's destructive as well, unfortunately. But because they don't understand, right? So anyway, what ended up happening was that this whole pill movement and the MGTOW really went to it split into these kind of splinter branches, and the philosophy changed a lot, right? A lot further from what different than what Rollo Tomasi originally envisioned, I believe, right? And it started to become more about hating women and about the evils of women, okay? Whereas I think what Rollo Tomasi was saying was like, this is reality, okay? And this is like what it is. Now deal with it and figure it out. It's not malicious, okay? It started to become this MGTOW movement started to make this malicious. All these malicious asshole feminists, all this kind of bullshit. And believe me, I don't like the the dumb feminists that that promote their crazy leftist shit. I'm not a fan of it, but at the same time, I don't believe it's malicious. I think these people are doing what they think is correct. Okay. And it's part of kind of society. It's part of the mating game, if you will. So anyway, the red pill and MGTOW movement started to go in this direction where it became quite nasty, I think. And if you look at these communities today, you'll find that a lot of these guys are very nasty. I mean, just look at my video and look at the comments from what, there was this one guy that is part of that community that had a following that posted about my video, and then all these people came over and look at the kind of shit that they wrote on my YouTube channel. Not, it's kind of funny because at one time, because they're basically saying, oh, don't ever take abuse from a woman. Like, you shouldn't take abuse from that. That's not right. Her behavior is wrong. She shouldn't be acting like that. Yet they come over to the channel and abuse the fuck out of someone they don't even know. So, that's, it's destructive. It's not good. All right. And the reason why is because it's basically taking a view of the world that it's malicious, of looking at all these things from a lens to say that it's not a lens of understanding and of accepting reality. It's still fighting against its reality, still railing against it and calling it wrong and bad. And let me tell you something about the universe and the world and everything. There is nothing wrong or bad. Okay, it's like believing that things are wrong or bad is not a good belief system to have, because everything happened the way it happened, exactly how it was supposed to happen, based on the laws of nature and the way that things have evolved. So in some way, it's right and good, right? You could say, right? I mean, let's not even use these terms at all. It's reality. It is what it is. So, again, that's a very stoic philosophy and mindset. But really, the MGTOW and the whole red pill movement has gone very far into kind of the vile. They want to, feminists want to basically say that men and women are the same, okay? And a lot of these MGTOW and red pill guys now, they want to say men and women are the same, and it's a little bit different, right? So the feminists want to say women can do anything that a man can do. They should have the same rights. They should be treated the same way and whatnot, and they're just as capable, and there's no gender roles, okay? So, which is not 100% true, right? I mean, some of those things obviously are true, okay? But the MGTOW guys now and the red pill guys, a lot of them, what they want to do is they want to do the same thing, is that they want to say women should be held to the same standards that men should be. And while I agree that there's a lot of behaviors that women get away with today in society that are quite extreme and unacceptable, they shouldn't be held to the same standards, because being a man, see, when you do that, you take away the ability for man to be a man. A man should be able to take a little bit more abuse. A man should not be affected by it. A man should be able to stand up and stand his ground, defend himself, defend those who are weaker than him, okay, and not feel the need to correct every single wrong that is, or every single slight that he perceives against him, and to name call and all that, right? It's, if you're a strong enough man, then someone who's weaker than you, who throws a stick at you, you don't even fucking care. You don't even notice it. Okay. You don't make a big deal of it. And so that's why there is a different standard. There is completely a different standard. There, even in matters of violence, even in matters of sexual allegations and abuse. And again, I'm not on the side of women making false allegations and getting away with all the kind of Me Too bullshit. I'm clearly against that stuff, but there is a difference. Again, there needs to be a difference. And I think some of the MGTOW guys are starting to trying to hold women to the same accountability as a man. As a man, I hold you to a much higher accountability in your behavior, in your rational behavior, and the amount of rationality that I expect from you. As a woman, I don't disrespect you in any way, but I don't hold you to the same behavior patterns, right? I understand the emotionality is a much bigger part of your life. And I understand that that's what you live for. And that is just as my focus and my drive and my passion towards my business and my success and developing myself and improving myself and reaching my goals is a huge, huge component of my life. I understand the emotional drama of life and the cycle of that is a huge part of your life. And so I'm not going to judge you by the same standards. I'm not going to tolerate a complete disrespect and disregard and abuse on to me, of course. But at the same time, I'm going to roll with some of those waves and stand there as a strong man. So, okay, we've really gotten, far from what I want to initially talk about, but let's get into this here. Okay. So this is going to be a fairly long video, apparently. So let's talk about two things that I've seen here. One of them is this idea of, let's see, where is it here? So these guys, okay, and this is kind of interesting. I'm going to talk about the black pill first, okay? So the black pill, okay, is this concept, right? That, it's kind of like a spoof of the red pill, right? You take the blue pill, right, from the Matrix, you wake up and like nothing's ever happened. You take the red pill, you can't go back, like you're going to see the true reality. So there's now this concept of black pill, okay? And this is the real true truth, right, to these guys, okay? And you'll notice something about these guys. First of all, it's basically an incel movement, involuntary celibacy, another ridiculous terminology, right? This stuff doesn't exist, guys. This is bullshit, okay? So the whole black pill guys, right? What you'll notice about them, before I even talk about the philosophy, is they all have like these, like 1,000 subscribers or so on YouTube, but these videos with a ton of views. Interesting enough, right? Okay, because people want to believe this shit, okay? And they never use their own face. They never use their own voice. I mean, some of them maybe do, but for the most part, I've seen some of these videos now. They have use a computer voice, so they're not displaying any of the traits or attributes of a confident man. Okay, now the reason why I'm starting off by saying that about the black pill, okay, to discredit it, is because of this. Is because the whole kind of philosophy and premise of black pill is that looks matter, and not only do looks matter, they matter more than anything else. And if you are cursed with bad looks, with bad genetics, if God just said, you know what, fuck you, and put his thumb down on you when you were born, then you're fucked. You're not gonna get laid. You're not gonna get girls. You're not going to be a Chad, okay? You're going to be a poor incel who just has the short end of the stick, and you're just going to have to deal with your life as it is and fuck those guys and fuck those Chad guys and fuck those pickup artists who are telling you lies and pretending like looks don't matter and that it's just status and this. And let's just like watch all of this content. Let's just like, to wallow in our sorrow and everything that shows, and let's look at beautiful men faces, attractive men faces versus unattractive man faces, and how the jawbone is so important that you have a strong jaw and high cheekbones that are prominent and these and small hunter eyes, right, and facial symmetry and all this shit, right? Okay, let's just focus on that as an excuse for why we're not successful with women, and we can't be, so we're not gonna even try. Like, yeah, you could go to the gym and lift weights, but it's still not gonna help your non-Chad-like genetics. Okay. Now, even if that were true, which it's not, why would you accept that belief? Why would you accept such a reality that basically fucks you? And again, I'm all for accepting reality. This is not the reality. But what I'm saying is that it's more important to have beliefs that actually are beneficial to you, right? So if you have this belief, you're not going to try, you're not going to put forth the effort, and you're certainly not going to succeed. Now, I know, I mean, I can, there's a lot of reasons why I could tell you that this is not true, okay? And this is just a self-deception. This is a mental masturbation of something that you want to believe, right? Because if you've had trouble with women, okay, and you're not the best looking guy in the world, okay, you want to believe that the reason why is because you're ugly and it's not your fault. And that's the easiest thing to accept, right? Because if you accept that, and again, I say it's the easiest thing to accept, even though you might be saying, John, that's the hardest thing to accept. No, it's easier to accept because if you're fighting it, right, and you suspect that it might be true, and I think a lot of you do believe, honestly, this is true, because this is like, people are seeing this like fact, right? They see this on the internet, and it's unfortunate. It's sad. It's very sad. And what happens is, like, if you believe this philosophy, then you believe you don't have to try. You don't have to better yourself. It's not your fault. It's someone else's fault. This is the victim mindset. You're here, guys, for the Bulldog mindset. Click subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already, and join the fucking Bulldogs and get the Bulldog mindset. If this is you right now, right, I'm telling you, click that subscribe button, okay? And I'm telling you why. Is because if you're believing this shit, trust me, I'm not going to convince you in this video. Maybe not, but I'm going to open your mind a little bit, and you watch the rest of the videos on this channel, and you start watching this shit on this channel, and you start watching your life fucking change, okay? And I'm not saying this. I'm going to go off, go off the rails a little bit here and go on this side trail. And I'm not saying this from a guy that has always been what I am now, okay? And again, you might say, oh, well, you're nothing special. That's fine. I don't care. Like, you can think that. That's fine. Like, I'm happy with my life and the things that I've been able to achieve every single fucking thing that I've ever wanted in my life, from girls to money to whatever it is. Okay, whatever success level. So that's what I've been able to do. Okay, now I'm saying this from the perspective, again, of a guy that very easily would have fit into the incel group, would have called himself an incel, in fact did for some period of time, from very easily would have been part of the red pill, or not the red pill, the blue pill group. At one point would have been part of the extreme MGTOW extremist group of hating women and believing that life is unfair and bullshit. Okay, you can see pictures, right? We'll try to put some up, but you can see old pictures of me being a total fucking dork and unattractive and completely in the incel type of frame. Okay, but you can also see pictures and success of me having the opposite of that, having the exact Chad style life that, as some as you would describe. Okay, now again, I'm not going to get into all the fucking details of all of this and my personal life, but I'll tell you that I know from experience that it is possible, not only possible, to go from one to the other, and to go from one extreme to the other extreme. Okay, I know this from my life, and you can deny it, you can say, you're full of shit. I can just tell you that I know it, and I know what it's like to be on the one side and to think that life sucks and to feel desperate and hopeless and worthless. And I know what it's like to be on the other side and be like, I can't even fucking believe that I just did that. I can't even fucking believe that. Is this really actually my fucking life? Like, am I really actually this guy? Is this really happening right now? I cannot even fucking believe it. Okay. So I know what it's like to be on the, and I don't think a lot of people do. Okay. So what can I say about this? Okay, again, that was my little riff on the victim mindset versus the Bulldog mindset. A lot of it is developing that mindset. We're not going to get into this video on developing the Bulldog mindset, but that's why I said subscribe to the channel and join me on this fucking journey, on this quest. Okay, but let's talk still a little bit more about this black pill idea. Again, this is a self-deception. It is, and let me kind of break apart some of the key philosophies or tenets of this whole black pill thing, so you can understand a little bit better about this and why it's wrong. So the very biggest tenet of this is that genetics and looks matter, and if you're not up there on that scale, that you're not gonna, women won't find you attractive, and that you're not gonna have any success with women. Now, looks do of course matter to some degree, right? But I'll tell you, and I'll tell you from personal experience, where looks actually matter the most. Okay, and believe me, I coach guys on this. I know all of the guys in the pickup community. I know them. A lot of them are personal friends. Okay, I've been out with them. I know what goes on. Trust me. Okay, but I can tell you from personal experience what looks actually matter, because I've been on both sides of it again, right? what looks will get you, right? Having a nice, physique and having being well groomed and looking good, okay, will get you this. It will get you initially some girls that will just throw themselves at you. Very rare, very rare, very, very rare. But a few of those that you're just going to get like that because they're just going to be throwing themselves at you, okay? It will get you an audition better, right? So if you go and talk to girls, like open up a set of girls, they're going to be a little bit more receptive to hear you, okay? It'll get you that. It'll buy you like basically 10 seconds, okay, before you open your mouth. What you say after that and how you act and how you behave is going to be way more important, but it will get you that, okay? It gets you no benefit from that point forward in the conversation and what you do. And then at the very end of the night, it gets it so that whole LMR, last minute resistance, is gone, right? Because you won't have to deal with that very much, right? Because they're going to know that they want what you got if they're with you at that point, okay? Because you're a good choice for them, okay? So that's all that it gets you, honestly. That's all they get you, okay? But that's not much. You might say that's a lot. That's not much, okay? Because everything else in between there is way, way more important, okay? And, again, we're not going to go into like pickup and techniques and whatnot, but I'm just saying that that's all that it really gets you. Now, probably on online dating and stuff, it'll probably get you a lot, get you further for sure. But you don't even do that, guys. Like, go into the real world and actually talk to real women in bars, in coffee shops, like put yourself out there. Okay. And give it an effort to be a man. So again, getting back to the main topic of do looks matter? Of course they matter to some degree, but what I just told you is really what the main advantage of looks are in person. Okay. Aside from that, status is way more important. And, a lot of the black pill guys will talk about status, but that's something you have control over. You can totally increase that. Okay. Now looks is going to be a factor of it. Wealth is going to be a factor of it. You can increase your wealth. Okay. Even looks, shit. Yes, there is some plastic surgery, some things you can do. You can obviously fix your teeth and straighten your teeth, right? Heck, I've got even here Invisalign, right? Like it's not that expensive. Okay. My teeth were okay, but I might as well get them as straight as possible, right? Why not? Okay. So there's a lot of things that you could actually even do in that regard. You can definitely increase your physique and build a good physique. That's highly possible to do. And if you lose body fat, and you can look at my own pictures, your jawline will look a lot better. If you lift weights, you'll actually strengthen your jawline, so that will look better. Plus you'll, get, if your face is trim, it'll be more defined when you have a lower body fat. So there's a lot of things that you could do, but this whole premise that looks are the main thing with the black pill and your genetic. Again, there's some people that are going to be severely genetically disadvantaged, right? I have seen obviously ugly faces, okay? But even if you're in that position, okay, of having what maybe on what's that scale? I saw some picture of some scale that'd be like a 1 or 2, right? This whole thing here. Okay. Even if you're on that, like if you like were well groomed, if you had some nice style, right, a good haircut, you had good skin, like you could still overcome a big chunk of that, right? If you're just like objectively ugly, yeah, okay, it's going to be harder for you, but it's not impossible. Again, I have seen guys with disabilities, severe physical disabilities, that have been the Mac Daddy. Honestly, that have gotten plenty of girls. Again, it's not going to be ideal, okay? But it's nothing that you're going to place that much emphasis on, okay? So yes, do looks matter? Of course they do. They're a component of it. But like I said, they're not going to be that important in the whole thing. What women are mostly looking for, besides the looks aspect of it, is the character traits, right? And a lot of that boils down to a perception of status, right? Which is accumulation of a lot of things. And again, when I go back to this video, okay, and this is why I don't trust a lot of these guys, and you shouldn't either, is look, okay, this guy, again, I don't know who this guy is. I don't mean to pick on him or give him credibility specifically, but he's not using his face. He's not using his name. Okay, he's not using his voice. I mean, at the very least, I understand anonymity. Okay, maybe I don't, because fuck, I'm out here projecting myself out here. People give me death threats and call me fucking names and whatever. Big fucking deal. I don't care. Okay, so but I understand that part of it. But not using your voice. How fucking alpha masculine? Like, okay, if it's just your damn fucking looks, okay, which granted, fine, then I expect you to be in every other possible way that you can a fucking alpha dominant male, okay? Because that's not genetics. You can fucking control that other stuff. You can go to the gym and you can lift weights. You can learn how to speak eloquently, okay? You can learn how to be dominant, how to be aggressive, okay? Those things you can learn. Go fucking train. Go become a fighter. Go do fucking construction, whatever it is, right? Like learn those things and you can project those attributes. So if you have all those other attributes, okay, and you're like, oh man, fuck, I'm fucking smart. I'm humorous. I'm cocky. I'm funny. I'm dressed well. I'm buff, right? I'm well groomed, okay, and I'm basically the dominant alpha male, except that I'm ugly, okay? And that's why I can't get. If you have all of that other shit, okay, that's fine. Then I will believe what you're saying. If you make a video on being black pill, then it'll have a lot more credibility. Okay, not necessarily that I'm going to believe that, but here's a good instance as well, right? Look at like the Phantom of the Opera. Okay, the dude, right? I mean, you're familiar with the story. His fucking scarred up face, wearing the mask, right? And this dude is like, how fucking seductive, and he's creepy as fuck, even, but he's so seductive. Why, right? And he's got a mask. You can't even see what he fucking looks like. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys about this. Is that you can obsess about this whole black pill thing and feel sorry for yourself. Okay, but it's not good. It's not good. It's not a philosophy that is going to help you in life. It's not going to benefit you. You would be better off, like, even if you believe this shit. Okay, and I understand that it's compelling to believe this shit. Okay, even sometimes when I watch some of these videos, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes, the jawline. Yes. Oh, look at those pictures, the before and after. It must be the hunter eyes, right? Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay, and I'll tell you this even. I worked in the male modeling industry for some time, and I hung out with a lot of guys. I mean, we hung out, and I I did not see any kind of like, oh my gosh, I saw guys that were way successful in the modeling industry that would have been rated 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, that bombing hard, getting rejected left and right because they didn't have the confidence, they didn't have the other skills. Okay, now I'm not saying, again, like I said, that it doesn't matter at all that they didn't get better success than they would have, but you can't rely on that, right? You have to, what you need to do, what is best for you, okay, if you're buying into this, is instead to say, look, okay, maybe this is true, but I'm gonna damn well do every single fucking thing that I can do first. Okay, I'm gonna improve my masculinity how I can. Okay, I'm gonna improve my looks as much as I can. I'm going to get a sense of style. Okay, I'm gonna improve all these other aspects of my life and myself. Okay, as much as possible, and then I'll go to this, right? That's the bit more beneficial way to look at this, right? And then if you've done everything that you can. Okay, and see, here's the problem: 99% of you have not done everything that you can. And here's another piece of this, right? Again, a lot of the black pill guys, they bash on the pickup artists, and they say it's bullshit. And while there's a level of bullshitness to some of the flashy kind of game stuff, this shit is legitimate and solid. And I'll tell you from experience, all I can do is, like, you can say, oh, John's lying and full of shit, but believe me, it works. It's okay, and it works just from sheer numbers, but it also works from developing the social skills and the aptitude to interact in social environments and to display high status in social environments, because you've been in that situation and you know how to control that situation, and you're not rattled or you're not fazed by it, and you come off as a confident person. Okay, that is an attractive trait. So that's what I would say. Okay, is if you're in this situation, go and do everything that you can. right? To develop the masculine traits that are good, have a drive, a purpose, right? Read some of the red pill stuff. Just don't get sucked into the women hating of the MGTOW movement of today, okay? And do everything that you can. Go and look at the pickup artist community. Go get some coaching and stuff like that, and try that out and face rejection, okay? And at the end of the day, if you've done all of that, then you've done everything that you can, okay? And on that journey, even if you don't get the girl, okay, because maybe you won't, maybe you are just like fucking butt ugly and you just there's just no hope for you, maybe, I don't know, okay, you will have developed yourself to such a high degree. You'll have made more money. You'll be fit. You'll be in shape. You'll have confidence. Okay, you'll feel good about yourself, where you won't need that external validation that you're seeking right now. Okay, and probably at that moment when you stop needing that external validation, all of a sudden it's going to be coming to you. Now, I can't guarantee it, but I can guarantee that the life of believing this black pilled shit and just like looking for more validation of why that it's not your fault, that is a sorry way to live your life, and you're going to be a fucking loser. But if you go down the path that I'm saying, the worst that you risk is working really hard to improve yourself and being wrong. And fuck, I mean, at the end of the day, you're left with a pretty good life versus a very shitty life. Okay, so that's all I'll say about the black pill piece of this. Let's jump over, if you're still with me, into the Sigma male thing. So this is kind of interesting. Okay, I just encountered this one today, and this made me think to make a video amongst the two. This is sort of the opposite. This is self-delusion the other way. Okay, so there's, you know, I was watching this video, and this guy's like, oh, you may have heard of the alpha and beta personalities, but not a lot about the Sigma male. Okay, and essentially, like, if you look at this, it's like this mystery guy, right? So there was this like hierarchy it showed, you know, this maybe I don't know which video it was, but anyway, he was talking about, okay, the alpha males, they're up here, and you've got the beta males, so you've got these Sigma males, and the Sigma males have the potential to be the most attractive to women. And the whole idea of the Sigma male is this idea that they're like introverted alpha males. Okay, you don't, and you look at these 17 characteristics. Okay, and okay, when you see this kind of shit, guys, I know you want to buy into it. A lot of you, right? Again, this is the opposite side of it, right? A lot of you want to buy into the black pill stuff because you want an excuse, okay, and you want to believe that it's not your fault, okay, and that the world is working against you and that you don't have to try. But a lot of you want to believe into this stuff, this Sigma male stuff, because you want to believe also it's not your fault and that you're better than you are. This is not the reality. You need a dose of the black pill. Some of you guys that think you're the fucking shit when you're not. All right. And so that's the opposite side of this. So let's look at this real quick here. All right. So if we ever didn't really know a Sigma male, then how do we know what one is? There are some telltale signs the guy isn't just being shy or playing hard to get. He's truly hard to get because he doesn't want to be gotten. How's this for fucking self-delusion? Really? Who's really that? No, I don't think so. You don't want to be top dog. You don't even want to be part of the pack. Bull fucking shit. The answer is that you can't be. You're not the top dog. You rebel what you're supposed to do, and just because you can, just as powerful as the alpha, you don't feel the need to prove it or to anyone but yourself. Sigmas live their life in silence, but it is golden. You are the James Dean without a cause, literally. You're highly attractive women, but don't really care or notice. As if there's anyone that fits that category. Come on, give me a fucking break. People consider you intellectual and intelligent. You loathe social norms and expectations. You're usually on the dark side of morally gray areas. You have a disdain for rules because they're meant to keep you down and powerless. You like to blend in, not stand out. No slave to fashion. You abhor it. You have out of the norm interests and sometimes exhibit eccentric behaviors, like playing World of Warcraft. Yes. You don't belong to social group, but drift in and out of them, but never belong to any. You are an instigator. Your refusal to conform to subjects you criticize and ridicule. You adapt only to get what you want and then are done with it. Okay, so you guys can see how this is a crock of bullshit, right? I mean, I hope that you can, right? If you're believing this shit, okay? There is not any kind of, there's alpha, and again, I don't even like to use the word alpha, but there are dominant men and there are submissive men. There are, you could say alpha and beta, that's fine. I don't care if you want to use that terminology, but there's no fucking in between. There is no fucking guy that is mysterious, who's introverted, who doesn't want to be the pack leader, but could be and is just as strong as the pack leader. If he were, he would be the fucking pack leader. Okay, so this is also another delusion, right? This is a way of buffering yourself from facing rejection. Is to say that you're awesome, you're good, but you haven't done anything to deserve that, right? That just intrinsically you're different than everyone else. You can ignore, look at all these things that are kind of excuses in here. Ignoring fashion, right? Don't have to be the top dog. Don't have to fight. You don't have to, right? You don't have to be part of a group. You're just as powerful, right? You can be introverted. You don't have to learn social skills and be extroverted and be socially, have high social status. You don't have to do that because you don't believe about that, right? You're highly attractive to women, but you don't really care or notice. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're not. How is this going to be successful for you, right? I mean, how's this working? How's this working? Do you think that these girls are just going to come up and approach you and just start talking to you because you're this mysterious James Dean guy who they can sense as the alpha guy? No, nothing works like that. The world doesn't work like that. Sales doesn't work like that. Okay. You're not going to make sales unless you're knocking on fucking doors. Okay. You're not going to attract women unless you're going out and talking to them and you're going out there and you're facing rejection. Okay, guys. So this is a fun little fantasy to have, to pretend like this Sigma male shit exists, but it doesn't exist. It doesn't actually exist at all. Okay. And you look at, again, these, the people that post on this, right? No need to prove anything. Autonomy, ideological independence, intellect, adaptability, solitude, introspection, civil disobedience, winning by not playing. If you don't fucking play, you don't win. Okay. Silence is golden. These are weakness. These are weak attributes. These are not strong attributes. This is when you try and take something that is a weakness and you try to make it into a virtue, right? It's trying to convert vices into virtues. If you are exhibiting these behaviors, okay, I mean, maybe not all of them, but for the most part, it's weak. It's pathetic behavior. It's beta behavior, trying to pretend like you're something else, right? You can't quite call yourself alpha because then you'd have to live up to that standard, right? But instead you can make this new hierarchy and you can invent this new thing and you can say that this is it. So ultimately, this is what it basically comes down to, right? Again, you can disagree with me on this and you can say, no, this exists and this is fine. Is what are you trying to get? What is your objective, right? And I'm talking to you guys here in this case because you guys that are wrapped up in this black pill and the Sigma thing, it's all the same fucking answer. Let's be honest here. You're trying to get laid. You're trying to get girls. You're trying to get women. Okay. You're trying to get female attraction. Is this going to be successful for you? Is this successful for you? This doesn't involve doing anything. This involves being a Sigma male, just something that you are. Okay. And making excuses for all of the shortcomings that you would have as an alpha male. How's that going to work? How is that working for you? Are you just like slaying it? Are you just slaying pussy right now? Or is that like, are you just swimming in it? I don't think so. And if you're not, then this is not working. This is not reality. You're going to have to go out there. You're going to have to grow some balls. You're going to have to do some of the things that alpha males do. You're going to have to compete in that space with those guys because those guys are doing well. Trust me, they're doing fine. Okay, they're not worried about you. They're not thinking about someone who invents a fake hierarchy, right? So this is a very destructive philosophy to hold, right? Both of these philosophies, the black pill and the Sigma male, again, they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to make excuses for yourself. They're the victim mindset, right? Again, both of these are the victim mindset. One of them is making a false reality to say that things are not my fault and they're too harsh, okay? And they're denying reality by not facing the truth that they could actually change and do something about their situation. They want to believe that the world is against them and it's not their fault. So that's their denial of reality. The other one wants to deny reality by saying, oh no, I'm awesome. Yeah, even though I'm sitting here, I'm a little bit overweight, I'm playing World of Warcraft, I'm intellectually superior to all these other guys and whatnot, and women secretly like me and my mystery, but I don't even really care. It's not really that important to me. I'm a loner. It's okay. That's why I'm not part of the group, right? And if I really were interested, if I really wanted to get a girl, then I would just go and do it, and it would be easy. Okay. And that's denying reality as well. It's not reality either. Again, some of you might be saying, well, John, why do you keep on talking about these kind of subjects? And it's because this is what you guys email me about. And this is important to understand this shit, because if you're denying reality, you're not going to make progress in your life. And I say this from experience, having been where a lot of you guys are from both sides of this. Again, I would have easily classified myself into that whole black pill type of mindset. Okay. I would have also at one point like eaten up the Sigma male thing and said, oh yeah, that's me. Cause that was me. Cause I was like, there was a point where I was so self-delusional where I thought I was this shit, but I wasn't going out there and doing anything. I wasn't doing anything with my life. I wasn't super successful. I was not an alpha male. I was afraid. I was afraid of life. I was afraid of women. I was afraid of failure. Okay. But I wanted to believe that I was superior, even though I wasn't. So I think that's about kind of wraps this up here of these two, what I would say are dangerous philosophies, because they're not reality based, because they're reality denial type of philosophies. All right. So thanks guys for joining me here. Like I said, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, become a fucking bulldog. Let's develop the bulldog mindset, not the victim mindset. And let's forget about all this kind of bullshit. Don't feed into this shit. Don't believe this kind of shit. Figure out what you're capable of. And I'll state this again one last time here for either of you. Okay. If you're falling into the Sigma male type of mindset or this black pill mindset, the answer is still the same. Okay. Do what you can. Go out there and become the best that you can. Develop yourself. Become the best man that you can, right? And that means from physical to mental to spiritual, okay? To status, success, money, all those things. Check all those boxes, but do it for you, okay? And then learn and actually go out there and face rejection, okay? And don't just say that you're being rejected. Don't self-reject. Go out there, and I want you to actually go out there and learn and see and go try it and see what happens. Okay. And yes, you're going to face a ton of rejection, right? Your rejection ratio might be 9 rejections for every 10 girls that you talk to, but that still means 1 out of 10. Okay. Even if it's 1 out of 100 that you're going to have success with, that's the reality. And whatever that reality is, just fucking face it. You're not doomed either way. It just means that that's the numbers that you have to hit. And maybe you can get better and you can improve that ratio. But if you're not out there, if you're not trying, if you're not actually sacking up and getting the balls to be able to actually go and do that and learn that skill, then you got nothing to complain about. You're just bitching and whining. That's all I got for you guys today. All right. Take care.